So here's a couple of things that I just have going. This is that old fabric greenhouse I've had for, I don't know, maybe 10 years. The doors don't zip anymore. And it's just kind of it doesn't really do any functionality other than sheltering the plants. That doesn't keep them warm. But you know, there's a few things I have left over. Here's a couple of bell pepper plants that I have in these 25 gallon or so pots. And there's a thyme plant that's still surviving down there. They do well in the winter here. Thyme plants can live here all year if you give them water. And then there's a sage plant. I just started that one. I've got several sage plants going. Some parsley over there that I just gave a haircut a couple of weeks back. These are my onion starts. There's like 18 4-inch or 3.5-inch pots. And what I do is I just plant a bunch of onion seeds in each pot and fertilize them every time I water them. And these will be going into the ground in January, which is about 2 or 3 weeks from now. There's a begonia. This begonia is supposed to be an annual, right? So this thing's been alive for 4 years. We had it up in Colorado, and Nancy likes it, so we just keep it going. It's had a haircut, but next spring it'll go crazy again. Little thyme plant in that coffee cup mug or planter, which is kind of cool. I like it a lot. Here is this is a pineapple plant that we were growing in a big pot. I think you might have remembered seeing this when you came to see us. But this plant, this spring I just said, okay, I'm not going to try to keep this alive in the summer here, and I threw it on a rock pile in the back of the garden. That rock pile right there. And to my surprise, somewhere around August, I looked, and this stupid thing was still alive, and it was growing up. That's why it's bent, because it was laying on its side. And so I said, well, you know, if you want to survive that well, or that hard, you know, I'll give you another chance. So I planted it in this 25 gallon pot, and we'll see what happens. Little basil plant down there next to it that just sprouted out of, we got basil everywhere around here. I had so many basil plants, I got them sprouting up out of the ground in places where you wouldn't think anything could grow. So this is kind of an overview of the garden. Those are pots I grew potatoes in. Those have been harvested and we're eating them, and they're really good potatoes. We bought those Walmart organic potatoes. It's the only place I could find organic potatoes that aren't sprayed with the hormones that prevent them from sprouting. And we planted some white ones and some red ones. The red ones did much better than the white ones did. I'm going to rework all these drip irrigation hoses and put shut-off valves at each one of these garden beds so that I can better control what gets watered. Because when you water everything the same all the time, sometimes that doesn't work out too good. Oh, I had a little something blew over in my garden. I'll have to go see what that is. This is a bed I've already worked. This got 3 40-pound bags of composted cow manure and a bunch of my homemade compost worked into the soil, into the top of the soil, and then it's been covered with cedar bark mulch, about 2 or 3 inches of that, and that's probably going to overwinter. I might be able to plant some stuff in there. The cedar log garden, these are cauliflower plants you see right here, and they haven't made any heads yet. I don't know what's going on with this. I've read that cauliflower can be a little bit persnickety. Broccoli, I've already harvested the main heads of these broccoli, but there's still some little ones coming up. As you can see right here, there's one that's about 2 inches in diameter, and there's a few more on that plant. And then there's 3 more broccoli plants here that are putting some little heads of broccoli. Like, that's really tiny. It's like 1 inch in diameter. But in a few weeks, I had a little problem here. I had one of my trellises, I guess, wasn't angled enough, leaning against the fence, and it fell on top of my cauliflower plant and broke a couple branches off of it.